To the Saturday evening game and a sad night for Manchester United. Just a few hours before kick-off, it was announced that former England and United midfielder Sir Bobby Charlton had passed away. And Sue, we have lost a giant of the game.
Absolutely. And there's been some lovely tributes that I've been listening to as a player. What he won, absolutely incredible. Legend, great of the game for Manchester United, for England. And I think adding to that, listening to everybody speak about what a lovely man he was, gentleman, brilliant ambassador for Manchester United. And yeah, he's somebody who's going to be sadly missed by everybody within football, not just Manchester United and England, everybody within football.
Stephen, you've had the honour of playing for Liverpool. You know the sort of weight that shirt carries. And when you're someone like Sir Bobby Charlton, who's seen as a club equally as big in Manchester United, to be considered as their greatest ever player is something, isn't it? And that is the sort of player and the sort of man who will come with an incredible aura when anyone meets them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is when you start out as a professional footballer, your thing is, can I create a legacy? Can I ever be as good enough to create a legacy? And not many footballers can do that. He's created a legacy where myself growing up, I'd never seen him play, but I know everything about him and I know sort of the way he played his game, the technique, the talent that he had on the pitch. And I think that speaks volumes from itself. But also when you become a legend, what is your character like then? When people talk about you, how do they talk about you? In what way do they speak about you? I never hear anything negative about the man. Never heard a bad word said about him. Everyone who speaks about him, who's met him, who's been in his company, has just been in awe of him, because they often say, don't they, don't meet your heroes. And everyone who's met him always says he lived up to that expectation and more. And I think that speaks volumes for the type of man that he was. And to carry out that sort of that persona and that legacy as a man, not only on a football pitch but off it as well, speaks volumes for him and for Manchester United as well. To have him in and around the club all the time, it's a real sad loss.
As for the game itself, Sue, was it another week where for Manchester United the result was far better than the performance? Yeah,
I think so. And we've spoke about it on numerous occasions, haven't we, on a Monday, where we've sort of said, well, we're struggling to see any sort of real pattern, the way that Manchester United want to play, and often it's a moment of quality that's won them the game. This time, obviously, Scott McTominay getting a goal and then Dalot getting the winner, because, yeah, there were moments in that game that you actually wondered which way the game was going to go, but they managed to obviously get the result. And you know, there's certain, I suppose, parts where you can praise certain players that you can praise, but as a collective, there's still so much more to come from Manchester United. I thought Onana did well. I thought he made some decent saves. He's been under quite a lot of criticism. Harry Maguire obviously getting man of the match and showing that real professionalism. So there's certain individual parts that you can maybe pick out, but there's still so much more to come from Manchester United.
Did you ever score a goal like that as a fullback?
Well, scored one whopper against Man City.
Good use of the word whopper.
It was a whopper.
Just to touch on what Sue said, Harry Maguire, you know, when he's asked to defend, he's a very solid player, and it's been, some of the criticism has been unfair and unnecessary. Very
much so. I think it's been very disrespectful towards a player of Harry's quality. I think our job is to nitpick out of things and to pull things apart, and that's what pundits are asked to do. I think what we have to be very respectful towards is that he's been low in confidence, and that happens to every single player. The biggest thing here is that he's Harry Maguire, who plays for England and Manchester United, and he's under the biggest microscope in world football. So people are going to look at that. And when you are at a club like Manchester United, the big thing is if you underperform, there will always be people linked with coming into the club to replace you. And listen, it was baby steps for both him and Manchester United at the weekend.